Pete be low key. He don't ever come in the message room. So I'm gonna say to Pete, "What up, Wody?" And
What up, what up?
Was Hollywood your biggest customer?
Man, Hollywood was, I can't say he was my biggest customer, but he's one of the closest people, to me. That's for sure. When it comes to like my customers, my friends, Cali was up there. I think I talked to him at least, every single day of my life since 1999 probably.
Hmm.
And it's sad and it hurt that happened to him,
Mm.
He was a good dude. At the end, like things went south, and a lot of things were. I was hurt by a lot of things that he did, and I'm sure he was hurt by some of the things I did. But no matter what, I wish he was, alive today.
Mm.
The crew that I had was like my main dudes always. There's a couple dudes that are still out there now, but like Callie and Mike were like one of the dudes I talked to every single day, and we just bullshitted, And then, we just like had a relationship outside the business. So, it's sad that that happened to him, but he wasn't my biggest customer. But he was a man, though. Don't get me wrong. I mean,
Any cool stories? Any cool Cali stories?
Cali was in a league of his own.
Mm.
He loved, like letting people know what he had, and he was super fly, bro. That's why we named him Hollywood. And he had it like custom, clothes made, and he didn't want to be like no one else. If someone had a car, he'd, just like his, he'd sell it. I mean, he's super unique about the things he had, and he was deep into the real estate game, like deep, since maybe before I even started working with him, he already had properties everywhere.
Right.
But I'll tell you this: the first time I meet him through one of my associates that end up telling on us, and we meet him at the mall. And I remember I'm gonna sell him four birds, cash. And he pulls up, and he got like a fur coat or something, and his Cartier glasses, and he's in a white Rover. And I bring the bag, and he, like, hold on, before I give you the bag, let me check him. And he sits there while we're in the parking lot, and he's opening every bird up. And I'm like, bro, I don't want to sit here and do this shit. And I was annoyed by him, though. Like, I actually didn't like him.
Mm-hmm.
Because he was like, man, I don't want to fuck up my money with you. But we ended up getting super tight, not too long after that.
That's a lesson. If you could have blown that up that night and been so annoyed that
Yeah.
business was affected. But
Yeah, I mean, but he was taking care of his business. But just imagine him in his fur coated glass, like, hold on, and he's sitting in his Rover,
mm-hmm.
like he was playing that big part, like to the fullest. And I miss him for sure, man.
Salute, rest in peace, Hollywood.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of stories. Like I said, he one of the dudes who come down to Mexico and see me all the time. And whenever he came, he never came empty-handed. He's the kind of dude you'd be like, hey, get me a watch or give me a Rolex, give me a new watch, and he'd come with some custom ass shit, that nobody else had.
Jorge Castillo said, Pete, one thing you can go back and change. What would it be? It's a
Mm.
hard thing to narrow down, huh? To one thing.
I mean, there's just so many things. I mean, I don't know. I think that when it comes, I don't. I guess some of those questions are always come down to something personal, like um, just being closer to my family or to my dad, or like just avoiding, a lot of the dumb shit that I did. I can't really bring it down to one thing, man. I wish I could have, saved my wife from a lot of the heartache I caused her. That's for sure.
Not guilty said y'all should have just fled to Dubai or somewhere without extradition. We've had that
Everyone says
conversation.
that. Hey, it sounds good to they got your ass back here. Yeah. And again, I tell everyone, my question was always like, what would you regret if you were sitting in a cell looking at a life sentence?
Mm.
What would you have done differently? And Chad, like I want to tell you, before I got into the game, I didn't have a wife like that. I didn't have kids. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I didn't give a shit, bro. It felt like that. What you say all the time, like suicide. Like whatever happens, happens. You know.
Yeah.
And
Reckless abandon.
yeah, you just what do you got to lose? Nothing. You go to jail, so what? What do you? You don't have nobody. You know.
Who am I hurting?
You know, who? Yeah, who you hurting? Like nothing. Nothing's gonna. You know, it can't get. It doesn't feel like it get much worse
Right.
until you start living your life differently and you care about people or you let them into your life and you start having shit.
Mm-hmm.
Well, half them dudes in prison, you go to prison, they happy, bro. They laughing, they playing basketball. I say all the time, they ain't had shit on the street, so
Mm.
they happy in prison, bro. They get to
Right.
play basketball in prison, do the same shit they were doing at home, on the street. Drink, smoke. To them, like, it's okay.
Right.
I mean, that shit's for. I think that's for goofies when you just sit in prison saying like it's a good place to be, knowing that at the end of the night when they close those doors that you want to cry.
Mm.
Get into them 10 years sentences or even 5 years, 6 years, 7 years, and time just going by and life goes on without you.
Listen, I promise y'all, get a little bit older. Forget the hourglass is broken. Time is just flying. You look at a kid that you love, your kid or whatever. It's 3 years old, and you turn around and
Yeah,
look back, and the kid's 7, and what the kid knows how to talk and put together thoughts, and it's like, wait a minute, when did this happen?
that's what I'm saying. Shy, I know you don't have kids, but think about when your kids need you, bro. Like think about them that you bring them into this world and they depend on you to give them to be there for them, to provide for them, to protect them, to teach them, and you're not there for that. They suffer, they feel lonely, they have they need they depend on you when they come home from school, they have a problem, you're supposed to be teaching them things about life, and you're not there.
Mm.
Now you're hurting them in the long run. Now, because you weren't there, now they on YouTube and shit, and TikTok with their fake ass, their pistols and the fucking, clapping pistols together. That's why I tell you, Shy, I look at that shit. Everybody following a trend of fake gangster. Like that shit easy. You pull the trigger, that shit easy, man. That shit don't impress me. Like I seen kids do that shit. Everybody doing the same thing. Can't stand on their own 2 feet. Got a gang of motherfuckers with you.
Right.
Like it's just weird to see how fake the shit is. And they ain't even really doing shit, bro. They ain't even about no. And
I
I say that
always
shit about this, the stuff that comes up all the time about the case shit. Man, the motherfuckers who did that to them are alive, breathing.
mm,
Miss me with that shit. You want to go after people that they're easy targets for you.
mm.
Man, do something. Where the boys at?
Hmm.
All the people crying from saying good dude or this and that. Man, get the fuck out of here. Where the dudes that have tattoos of him on their chest and shit. What they do? Nothing. They take care of his kids. Nope. It's all talk. You know what I mean? That's the kind of boys you want to leave behind, bro. You want to give your life for some dudes to treat you like that. Just say your name when they on a show or just because it sounds good.
If nothing else, this is a stay out the game cautionary tale that needs to be.
Hell yeah, it is. I'm not saying like at the end of the day, I tell you like, man, I wasn't like happy about my brother's decisions. I'm gonna say that when it came to K.
Mm.
But trust me, man, that man would have done that shit 10 times over.
Would have done what?
Took your girl in a heartbeat.
Mm.
He would have stepped over you to take your girl while you're laying there fucking bleeding out. If that's someone's hero, bro, go ahead, suckers.